Good day, sir. I am Ariel Adapar. So, I'm in I'm first year college in Bachelor of Science in Marine Transportation in section Batalgis. So, here I am now, sir, explaining my seamanship 3R, the course outcome 2 assessment. So, here is my work, sir. I have 4 bond paper per scenario. So, we have 4 scenarios, sir. So, first we have to tackle the and I explain the scenario 1. So in scenario 1, in task, analyze how this cargo can be safely stowed and secured if to be shipped in bundles. So we have to explain the how this cargo would be the safety. So first, while we have the calculation and analysis. So we have for the pipes to be transported may be of varying dimension and weight, and each pipe type need to be studied for its own requirement of lifting and storage. So we have to study the each varying dimension and weight for each type. So that we have the safety. So in second, stacking height calculation. In stacking height calculation for each type of pipe in the project, the stacking height limit should be calculated. So it should be have it should have the height limit and be calculated. So in the lifting plan, so next is the lifting plan and lifting calculation. So pipe needs to be lifted at the yard to be loaded onto the vessel. They also need to be lifted from the vessel to be fed to the lay barge. Thus, a lifting plan for the pipes need to be in place. So in this scenario, we have the pipe is needed to lift it at the yard to be loaded onto the vessel, so that the lifting plan for the pipes needs to be in place. So it should be in the right place, sir. And next, the dynamic load. So in dynamic loads, load on the slings will comprise of the self weight of the pipe as well as any dynamic loads expected. So the sling will comprise of its self weight. It will comprise. And next, the strength check. So each item of the lifting arrangement must be checked for its strength. This include the shackles, pad eyes, sling spreader, bars, webbing slings, spread master link, delta plate, and etc. Also shear and bending stresses need to be checked too. So in the strength check, so we have to check this to avoid the overweight of the an item. So we have to check the strength of its shackle and in any part of the lifting arrangement. So in lifting multiple pipes, so we have the if the pipe are of smaller size and weight, multiple pipes may be lifted at a time by using multiple webbing slings. So we have if we have the many or multiple pipes, so we have to use the multiple webbing slings. So in the next, the transportation analysis for the vessel. So we have here is must prepare the vessel storage plan. So we have to prepare the storage plan. The next must be tie and secure all the pipes in the ship to avoid moving sideways. So we have to secure all the pipes in the ship to avoid the sideways located in the load pipe on the forward end of the available deck space. So we have to check the load pipe in the forward end. So nahan, then start loading pipes behind or aft of the forward bay. For lifting and manual handling of pipe, we need to keep a clean spacing between the forward bay and the second bay, minimum of 400 millimeters. So we have to keep a clean spacing in the forward bay. So that's the important part of here. Then the next bay of aft of the previous one. Keep repeating this process till the aft end of the available deck space is reached. So the next one of the next bay of the previous one, so atong ganihan. So we have to we have to load that area so that we can repeat this process until the end. So we have done in the task 2, scenario 2. The scenario 2. So in scenario 2, the wire red to be shipped in coil. So in task 1, analyze how this kind of cargo can be safely stowed and secured to be shipped in coil, and the weight of the coil is up to about 10 tons. So here, coils up to the 10 tons can be stored 3 high above. So 10 tons can be stored in a 3 high above, 3 high. Check the pile if it is well secure and tie virus. Of course, we have to check that it is secured. Check also the maximum load of the ship. Yes, the maximum load of the ship to avoid the sink. Find proper storage for the coil can be placed and safe to be stored. So we have to find the proper storage for the coil. That's requirement. So have a stacking height calculation and lifting plan, also fitting calculation. So we have also to calculate all the stack. In the task 2 number 3, how this kind of cargo can be safely stowed and secured to be shipped in coil, and the weight of the coil is it up to 15 tons. So we have here the coils up to 15 tons can be stored in 2 high above, so it can be stored in 2 high above. Then next, check the pile of it and file if it is well secure and very well. So it is important to check that it is secure. Check also the maximum loads of the ship. We have to check the maximum ship to avoid the sinkage. In the next one, I have also a transportation analysis on where to put the coil to be safe. So we have to put the coil safe in the transportation. Finding good spot to pile all the coil and have the weight well distributed in the ships. You have to find the good spot to where to put the coil, sir. Then have a stacking height calculation and lifting plan, also lifting calculation. So also here we need to find a height and lifting calculation in stacking. So stacking and lifting. So in next, sir, we have the scenario number 3. Where is my scenario number 3? So in scenario number 3, so we have the stack here in the containers. So the containers in the task number 1, analyze how this kind of cargo can be safely stowed and secured if it to be shipped in non-container vessel fitted with or hatch top store or setting device. So we have here the containers is only as strong as the weakest component in that stack in the top. So it will be much stronger as the weakest component in the stack in the top. So mas ligon siya sa top. In the twist lock, limit vertical and transverse movement. Diagonally cross lashing rods placed at the end of the container. So we have the twist, the lock, and vertical transverse movement. And we have to cross and lashing are placed at the end. Then this the container, then the lashing rods at the end. In the container exposed to when loading need additional or stronger lashing, so we have to put more stronger lashing. So in task number 2, analyze how this kind of cargo can be safely stowed and secured with ship or non-container vessel not fitted with a deck or hatch top store or setting device. So first, we have to check the storage planning on how to load the container on the ship. So we have to check first on how to load the container ship. It is a must. Then check also the lift calculation during the loading process of the container. Of course, the lifting calculation to avoid the sinkage, so to avoid overloading, and etc. And next, find proper place to put the container even though it is not fitted with the deck. So we have to find a good spot for the container. And next, apply the proper distribution of weight so that the ship will maintain balance. That's is a must to maintain the balance in the ship to avoid the risk. In next, don't stack with high in the container to avoid falling. So don't put the container in a high area. Secure. Next, secure or use proper lashing to secure the container. So we have to use the proper lashing to secure the all of the container in your ship. Yeah, scenario number 4. Next is scenario number 4. In scenario number 4, we have the RoRo cargo items. In RoRo cargo items, so in the task 1, so first we have to check first the weight of every truck have been stored in RoRo. It means the roll on and roll off have a strong proper way of bridge to get the truck inside and safe. So we have to put the proper way of bridge or bridge that make sure that it is strong and distribute the weight in the ship. So we have to distribute the weight of the ship and check also the dead weight tons and must be 20,000 to 50,000 dead weight capacity. In task number 2, also we have to check first the weight of every truck have been stowed. So we have to check the truck that it is capable to the bridge that, and when it is 20 to 30 tons, it is must be the whole of area of a ship that must be put properly to even the weight, also observe distancing so that the truck will not collide during the travel. Yes, and we have to check its load so that the truck will not collide, matumba or crash. In task number 3, also check the dead weight of the ship if it is ranged and make sure to distribute the weight properly to have balance during the travel. Secure all the truck and make sure have enough space to avoid collision. Yes sir. Then this one we have to check the range and the distribute of the weight of the ship so that it can maintain to its balance. So during the travel, so we have to secure all the truck so that it will avoid to collide, matumba siya sir. And thank you sir, that's all sir, that's all the scenario I have got. Good day sir, again sir, thank you.